I'm a spiritual being and having a human experience. New Thought writer Norman Vincent Peale once wrote, "The cyclone draws its powers from a calm center. So does a person." Please say with me, with feeling, the affirmation on the screen or on the front of the program. I am doing life in a new way through prayer. With prayer, I turn hurt into wisdom. I bless to relieve distress. I let Spirit's beauty transform me. And I feel an inner yes, my prayer is answered.
And so it is. Thank you, Mary Ann. So this month we've been focusing on the power of prayer. And I don't know how many of you sometimes explore some of the things that are going online with the things that children say. I love it. So this is around prayer. This is some children's take on the Lord's Prayer. So listen to this. There was a 3-year-old that once said, "Our Father, who does art in heaven, Howard is your name." I love it. And listen to this one. This is a 4-year-old. Forgive us. Wait a second, I thought I had this one. Okay. And forgive us our trash baskets, as we forgive those who put trash in our baskets. Isn't that the essence of forgiveness? Right? Forgive us our trash baskets. And forgive those who put trash in our baskets. I love it. So, the source books that I've been using for this month are the writings of Ernest Holmes, and also a book by Gregg Braden that's called The Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer. A man who has searched the world. He's a scientist. He's also a mystic. Searched the world for answers on what makes prayer effective. And he looked in all of the different traditions, Native American, Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Jewish, all of them, and looked for these common elements. So week 1, we talked about the first secret. Anybody remember what the first secret is? Feeling. Feeling is the prayer. And we keep readdressing this over and over again each week because it is that feeling nature, that resonance that we talked about from our heart, when we can drop into that place of feeling peace and love and joy and connection and oneness and wholeness, our prayer is more effective. The Native Americans, in fact, talk about praying something, not praying for it. If you pray it, you experience it as already happening and feel grateful for it. So when Native Americans pray for rain, pray rain, see, there's the habit, pray rain, they imagine the rain soaking them, getting them all wet, that their feet are in the mud, they're smelling the walls of the earthen buildings that they have. They can smell the rain. They can see the high cornfields, walk through the cornfields. So it's acting as if it's already happening. That's a principle that we teach here. Whereas praying for rain makes it sound like it's not happening, right? When we say we're going to pray for it, it's like, oh, it's not here. So we're literally repelling it by making that statement. So we're learning to say, pray about it or pray it, either one. All right. The second secret, does anybody remember that one? Oh, Dan, you're helping them out. All right. So whenever we are in hurt, pain, or what is often known as the dark night of the soul. These are times when we forget who we are and we think that there is a power outside of us that can in some way take away our good. So as we turn away from that idea and realize that the power of the universe itself dwells within us, that heart center is power. Power, power, power. The scientists show us that. There's great power in that. This inner presence, this great light of wisdom within us. And so as we turn away from blame and shame and to personal empowerment, using the power of our word, the power of our actions, the power of our thoughts for good, we turn into a being of greater wisdom. We access greater wisdom. And so that's when we introduced the heart math method of coming into resonance with our divine self, like coming into divine union, into integration with that, as we breathe in and out of the heart, as we think about things that we're grateful for. And we'll be using that again, by the way, a little bit later in this message, so you'll get a chance to practice it again. So for today, how do we stay centered in the storm of this presidential campaign? That is the big question, right? How do we stay centered? How do we show up as the spiritual beings that we are in truth in the midst of all of that? And how do we stay centered in spirit, in wisdom, when we actually go to our polling places and cast our vote? So that's the question that I'm posing today as we look at this third secret of prayer. So I love that idea of the cyclone or the hurricane. You know, depending on which part of the world you're in, it's called different things: typhoon, cyclone, hurricane. The construction of that storm system is amazing. I did some research online just to see how the whole thing works. And truly, that calm center, there is great power that's generated in that calm center and the clouds that are around it that continue to fuel the exterior of that entire thing. But the power that we're talking about today is that power that takes place when we drop in through meditation, even through the power of the breath, drop into that place of stillness, that place from which we are the observer of life, and where we can bring a presence, a present moment awareness, a presence of knowing who we are in truth to whatever is going on in our lives. That calm center has great power. So today I'd like to explore that and some of the methods that Gregg Braden found. Actually, there's one in particular that he found very, very powerful. And what he talks about then with this calm center, he calls it the space between. And many of you have heard about the space between the thoughts, is where we can drop into that place. He calls it the space between, where all possibilities exist, where magic and miracles come from. Where magic and miracles come from. From this place, we're given the power to heal our bodies, change our lives, and bring peace to the world. How apropos for this Peace Week. By tapping into this inner power. All events originate from this powerful, magical moment. This is Gregg Braden again. So that is where we very powerfully and consciously access universal law in that calm, in that space between thoughts. And Braden also says, since our emotional state during prayer determines the kind of blueprint we create, we must clear our hurt and our anger and our fear and all of that stuff before we pray. After all, how can we expect the mind of God to reflect healing and peace if we're feeling fear and hurt? So the decision in this race has not yet been determined. And so we as awakened, aware, spiritual beings have a great opportunity in this space, this time between now and November 8th when we cast our votes. We have an opportunity to radiate a calm and a presence. Remember, we're all interconnected, that can have an effect on everyone in the country. Now, one of the things I want to make very clear is in this teaching, we do not tell people who to vote for or what to think. We teach people how to think. This is about teaching you how to think, not who to vote for. So I'm not going to even get into that at all. I'm talking about the presence, the energy that we show up with day after day after day, and particularly on the day of the election. So this power of turning away from the fury of the storm and to the calm center over and over again. Braden says in the highest order of Essene teachings, these are the precursors of Jesus, the Essenes, the mystics of that time. We are instructed how to use the space between the calm center to prepare our minds, hearts, and bodies before the prayer begins. We are invited to suspend judgment, fear, hurt, and enter into the calm state of mind in which we gain the greatest benefit from prayer. And there's a beautiful quote by the Sufi poet Rumi that I think is so apropos right here. And listen to this one. Out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. We can remember that as we drop into the field. We're meeting each other in that place of calm, oneness, and wholeness that has a rippling effect on everyone else beyond us. So we are the bearers of the light, the bearers of the calm, is the vision that I have for us as a community, joining other communities in this same thing. So how do we get to this place of calm when life shows us a world that appears to be scary and dangerous? The instructions for this are very precise. And Jesus, the master teacher Jesus, is a wonderful model for this. He says, bless them that curse you, pray for them which despitefully use you. And Ernest Holmes punctuates that by saying, when we creatively bless, life abounds with love, peace, and joy. Let us learn to see that everyone is an evolving Christ or Buddha or whatever it is, the word that you want to use. When we condemn no one and bless all, we sleep in peace and rise in the morning renewed in body and mind with a brighter outlook, a happier expectation, a clearer joy, looking upon all with love. Anybody for that? Sure. When we creatively bless, so this is the secret of prayer that we're talking about, blessing. When we creatively bless, life abounds with love, peace, and joy. We learn to see everyone as an evolving Christ. That means we see the spiritual truth about everyone. We see their light. When we condemn no one and bless all, we sleep in peace and we rise in the morning renewed in body and mind with a brighter outlook, a happier expectation, a clearer joy, looking upon all with love. Yes. Blessing. That's what blessing does for us. turning away from our habits of judgment and condemnation and all of those other things that can get really triggered in this presidential campaign, and instead deciding to be the presence of love, which is what blessing is. It's choosing love, is what it is, very simply. Creative blessing is also a process of release. Think about it, and that's why we have the third one is blessing is releasing. Blessing is releasing that tendency to judge. It's releasing that tendency to condemn or find fault with. It is releasing the tendency to rant and rave and carry on, which I have done. I'll be the first one to admit it in this presidential campaign. I can go there, and so I use this is just such a powerful practice for me, and I invite you to join me in this. So it's releasing truly the perception of separation, that there's them, it's us against them. It releases that whole idea. And it's a return to the calm center, to our divinity, to our awareness of oneness, to seeing the divine in all, to love, to wisdom, to make powerful, right decisions. It's a return to the place of power where we can heal our bodies, heal the sick, where we can change our lives and change the world together. This song that we sang this morning, We Are the Ones, so beautifully expresses this idea. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. It's not somebody out there, it's us. And it's the calmness and centeredness in spirit that is what we bring to this world that makes a huge difference. So it doesn't matter what our occupation is. We don't have to go out there and do what we think might be some grand thing. The grand thing that we do is show up as peace, as love, as the divine presence that we are. So blessing doesn't mean that we're going to agree with a certain presidential candidate or disagree. It is simply a state of being, again, that is healing. It's a beneficial presence that we bring to the situation. Oh, okay. That one just came right. Blessing, I don't know what I just said. What did I just say? It's not here. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's about being a beneficial presence. Yeah. Blessing is about showing up as a beneficial presence. It doesn't mean that we're choosing one candidate. It doesn't mean, has nothing to do with our decisions, because ultimately we're all going to go to the poll place and make a decision. But it's the energy that we bring, that the atmosphere. Remember, we are all atmospheres of energy, and we are all interconnected. And the energies, the higher frequencies, are more powerful than the lower frequencies. Do you know that? And Dr. David Hawkins talked about this, that this counterbalancing effect of the high energy frequencies that it has on other people. The energy of love is, what did I see in heart math? It was like 50,000 times more powerful than than the negativity or something like that. And I think it's even more than that. But it was a huge difference. So you may say, little old me, how can I make a difference? You do. When you are centered in those high frequencies, you make a huge difference. So blessing is releasing anything that covers our divine magnificence. So let's put it into practice. Are you ready? Okay, so I'd like you to first think of a presidential candidate that you disagree with. Is that challenging for anybody? Okay. Okay, so identify the qualities you don't like about that person. Maybe they're rude, disrespectful, dishonest, unethical, unqualified, foolish. It might be any of those things. So when you start identifying those, Remember, when we focus on that, we actually join in the creation of it. We empower those things. So we want to turn away from them and bless this candidate with the opposite that affirms their divine nature. So we can bless them with good manners, kindness, respectfulness. I put some ideas up here for you: honesty, peace, integrity, wisdom, harmony, etc. And after we do that, we're also going to apply it to the candidate that we do appreciate or agree with, and we're going to bless ourselves with that. So you see, the formula is I bless you with. So we don't want to say their name, but we're going to do it out loud. So we can use you instead of the name of the candidate, so we can keep our vote secret. And we're all going to do it at the same time. But before we do, I'd like us to use some heart math. So let's drop down into our hearts. Put your hand over your hearts or your fingertips to your heart. And pretend like your heart has a mouth in it, so it can, or a nose, and it can breathe in and out. It can breathe air in and out. This is an ancient method that's very powerful. So close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out of your heart. Very slow, very deep. In fact, one that I think works very well is to breathe into the count of 4, hold it, breathe out to the count of 8. Into the count of 4, hold it, and out to the count of 8. So do a couple rounds of that. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Holding it. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more round. Breathing in. Hold it. Breathing out to the count of 8. And now think of someone that you love. It can be a pet, a parent, a family member, a friend. And just think of how much you love them. You can see them smiling at you. Get into that energy of love. And now from this great, powerful center, we're going to use the power of our word as we bless the candidate that we disagree with first. So when you're ready, we're going to say it out loud with power. As many of these qualities that you can think of. Begin. I bless you with good manners. I bless you with love. I bless you with wisdom. I bless you with honesty. I bless you with joy. I bless you with an integrity. I bless you with kindness. I bless you with peace and wisdom. Okay, now let's do the same for the candidate that we agree with. I bless you with success. I bless you with radiant health. I bless you with beauty. I bless you with kindness. I bless you with power and strength. I bless you with centeredness and calm, centeredness in your spiritual truth. I bless you with love and light. Now let's use this in our own lives. So you might want to think about your career, your finances, your body, your relationships, whatever it is in your life. I'm going to also invite you to bless yourself. And again, if it's your, like I put down here, I bless myself and my ministry with wisdom, love, and compassion. I bless my finances with order, abundance, and wisdom. I bless my body with love, wholeness, health, and energy. I bless my relationships with love, compassion, and harmony. So that'll just give you the essence of it. So when you're ready, begin. You're blessing yourself now. I bless my body with health, vibrancy, energy, wholeness. I bless my ministry and everyone in it with wisdom, compassion, love. I bless my spiritual community with love and light and beauty and grace and substance and abundance. I bless my relationships with joy and harmony and wholeness and beauty and grace. I bless my finances with order and abundance and beauty. So take another deep breath in and out of the heart. And affirm that it is done by saying, and so it is. So remember, every time that you feel those twinges to get caught up in the storm of the election season, remember to turn back to blessing. Drop into the calm and start. In fact, blessing will help you get into the calm, is the whole point, into that calm of the storm. And I think what you will notice then is that if we faithfully resist condemning and instead creatively bless, that not only will we get through this entire presidential campaign season with peace in our minds and in our hearts, but when we cast the vote on election day, we'll cast it from a deeper place. And that really does make a difference. So I'd like to end with this beautiful prayer for our country by Ernest Holmes, which in itself is a powerful blessing. I invite you to close your eyes and join me. Believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America and in the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression for all, I offer this my prayer for my country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, and divine intelligence directs the thought and activity of all who guide its affairs. I know that wisdom, success, prosperity, and happiness are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of all of the people of this country to take actions that ensure the highest good for all. The all-knowing mind contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader in this country is now directed by this all-knowing mind, and that every leader has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. I know that every leader is compelled to act upon this knowledge, resulting in abundance, security, and peace for all. And I know that this spiritual democracy endures, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. And together we say, and so it is.